Let's go!
I was checking out the scouting report, and I don't see nothing but bums. You and your whole entire world know that I am the one. You and your squad ain't got nothing for me. Hey. Your organization is looking stressed. What? And now that you haters is running from me, I know that you see that I'm highly blessed.
Here we go. Yeah, we live with your boy Coach G. Yeah, we live with your boy Monty.
You and your squad ain't got nothing for me. Your organization is looking stressed. And now that you haters is running
Episode 22. Damn, Bryant, 22 episodes already. Damn, I don't know what to call it, man. I guess we're just that good. Welcome into another episode, another edition of The Rewind, brought to you by Global Sports Entertainment 3, Bryant Garvin, Monty Moss, the captain of this ship that's going to guide us from start to finish. Got a good episode for you guys tonight, as always. Shout out to our guy, Chris, in 1990 Studios, each and every week that gives us the opportunity to come on here and give you guys a great episode. As always, Bryant,
we
talk about tonight.
Yeah, we do. We got to get D Nice on here, man. We do. We had to get Hassan. You know, I mean, we got to get these. Got to pair this entertainment thing side up because we are global sports and entertainment. So that entertainment piece, we got to get to it. There's no question about it. So we got to figure that one out. But I'm ready to rock and roll.
Well, I can't promise you what's going to happen tonight, but what I can guarantee is that no Lakers slander will be tolerated tonight as, unfortunately, we have a Celtics fan coming on tonight, and you already know how I feel about them sorry-ass Celtics, ask Dave McSwain. However, we got NBA talk, finals preview, Game 3 tonight in Indiana. First time an NBA Finals game's been back in Indiana since NBA 2000, where the Pacers lost to my Los Angeles Lakers in stunning fashion. But WNBA, NHL, Stanley Cup, Brian's hot take, something that I know you guys look forward to seeing each and every week. I can't promise you what he's going to say tonight for his hot take. I don't know how it's going to go, but he's been on a hot streak tonight from our buzz and from social media. And we need all the help and love we can get. So if you haven't, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell a friend, tell her friend, tell his friend, your mama, her cousin, your auntie, your grandfather, whoever. If they got a phone, they got YouTube, let them know, like and subscribe. Follow us on all platforms at the Rewind _GSC3. But without further ado, I'll bring on our special guest tonight, a individual who I am most certainly proud of. Want to give him his flowers while he's here. Patterson's finest. Never thought I'd see the day where I have someone from Patterson on. Patterson.
Come on, baby.
All places, Patterson. But he's got a lovely niece. Shout out to my lovely niece who I love dearly. He's a proud father doing a damn thing with Father's Day coming this Sunday. Happy early Father's Day to you both.
Oh, damn. I didn't know that was happening this Sunday.
I'm certainly not a dad yet. No time soon. But
I want my damn gift. I want my damn gift. Have my shit here. Have my shit here this Sunday. I forgot all about that.
Brunch.
I make sure my shit here. Let's make sure here.
Mm-hmm. We want to welcome in Patterson's finest Celtics fan, my brother. Always a pleasure. I had to make sure to get him on in some capacity. He did say that he's nervous tonight. I don't know what he's nervous about. Of course, maybe it's Bryant wearing green also, even though Bryant's a Bulls fan. But Hondo, I gave him the nickname myself personally. He's ran with it for these years. Might have to trademark it. For every time I say Hondo tonight, you're going to owe me $20. So we're going to run this bill up tonight because
Limit the Hondo, man.
Limit the Hondo. But Hondo was good, man. Welcome into your first edition on the Rewind. Good to see you, my brother, Black King. How are you,
yes, sir?
What's good?
I'm great, brother. I'm nervous because it's such a prestigious stage, a great platform, I want to give you your flowers a little bit. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being yourself, and I'm very, very proud of what you guys are doing up here and transcending the podcast game. You might not see it now, but in the future, I definitely see this, taking off somewhere very great. So thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. We're doing the best that we can. Tonight's bill will be sent to Hondo tonight. Appreciate you taking care of us as always. If you don't want to pay tonight's bill, you can just leave now because no Celtics fan normally is allowed on this platform. With me being a Lakers fan, me and Brian have something in common, and that's the hate for them sorry-ass Celtics. But we're going to give you an exception tonight.
Shit breaking up. He said, shit breaking up. It's breaking up.
Hey, look, I'm wearing green because I'm money market, baby. I got to do the stock market thing. I'm thinking about money. I ain't thinking about no sorry little.
Come on, man.
I'm thinking about money. You don't see no B. You don't see no B, no O, no S, no T on my shirt. It's just what it is.
I see the green and white, man.
MONEY. Money. $.
BOSTON, man.
Well, fellas, let's get right into it. NBA Finals is underway. Game 3 tonight between Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. Series tied at 1 apiece, with the game being tonight, 8:30 on ESPN. Game 2, Thunder won in stunning fashion, 123-107. SGA, the reigning MVP, 34 points, 8 assists, 11-21 from the field. Got to the free throw line 12 times. Is what you do throughout the playoffs, being really aggressive, getting to the line, averaging between 10 to 15 free throws a game. Both teams shot 37% from the field. Oklahoma City, 14 of 36 from 3. Indiana was 14 of 40. Chet Holmgren stepped up, as I said on last week's episode, in order for OKC to have a shot in Game 2 to tie the series. Chet Holmgren is going to need to step up after finishing with 6 points in Game 1. He finished with 15 in Game 2, 6-11 from the field, 6 rebounds. Jaylen Williams, my man, did his thing with 19 points. Bryant, Game 3 tonight, of course, between these two teams. Indiana, of course, needs Tyrese Halliburton to step up, only 17 points in Game 2. What are your keys to the game, and as we enter your timeout huddle between these two teams with Indiana and OKC?
One thing that really, bothers the shit out of me. I'm just going to be honest with you, because I went back and I watched both of these games. Indiana played defensively. They played like shit the second game. Like it was like they never played before. Like sometimes I think this shit's fixed. I'm like, how do you play so hard the first game? And it's not like you're playing back to back. Now they spreading this shit out like 3 days and then another game. They never did this before. Maybe they did. I didn't pay attention to it, but you come back 2 or 3 days later and you play like you're in slow motion. I just don't understand it. And then you have this one guy that's on social media with this rants about them defensively, and he don't understand. They really don't play too much of help defense in the NBA. They play man-to-man, straight man. But yet, they have different disguised defenses in there. But one game, they look like the coming to Jesus. The next thing, they look like the fucking devil. Like, what? I can't even get a take on this shit. I really can't. And it pisses me off, because I'm a defensive guy. I strategize defensively, and I come up with different scenarios how to stop people. And to not play hard in the finals all the time, like you got to give it your best. I think they purposely drag this shit out to make $1 million a game. Until you get to Game 7. I personally think that, because they made me want to throw up. I turned the shit off. I really did. And I said this game is over. There's no way in hell that they can sit there and play that bad the second game and then play that good the first. I just don't understand it. You get all this rest. That's just my take. I think, Indiana may win this game. I don't know. I don't. I'm frustrated behind it. They don't play hard enough for me.
Well, what we can expect in Game 3, of course, is bench production. Game 2, of course, Oklahoma City led the way from bench points. Alex Caruso contributed with 20 points off the bench. Aaron Wiggins with 18. Bench, and to win in the NBA Finals, you got to have production off the bench. If you don't know, maybe you should ask the New York Knicks, who didn't even use their bench at all in that series that they went home to against the Indiana Pacers. But Hondo, of course, you love the Eastern Conference. Your Celtics are in the East. You've played the Indiana Pacers this NBA season, but in your perspective of what you've seen from games 1 and 2, who would you have winning Game 3 tonight?
It's tough, man. Because both teams have so much, but OKC, man, it's like when their guys are clicking, it's just no backseat for them. It's just go. But I think tonight it's in Indiana. I think Indiana has been shocking everybody the whole playoffs. We thought they were going home when they faced Cleveland for sure. Some people had the Bucks beating them. The Knicks, I thought they were going to beat the Knicks the whole time. But, it's been a playoffs of shocking people the whole time for Indiana. So tonight, I think they really want this game. It's in Indiana. The crowd's going to be rocking. First finals in 25 years. I got Indiana, man. And I think it's because, just like Brian said, he spoke on last game wasn't as good for them. So I think this game they're gonna come in with a killer mindset. And yeah, man. I'm really not a fan of SGA, and I don't really, like the Thunder anyway. So I'm gonna put some smut out there. Hopefully they lose, man. But I got Pacers. Going Pacers.
Look, some of these guys, you can't say this because I'm going back to some of these videos when Jordan went out and he was on the bus and he chugged down about 8 beers before he played a game. Only he can do that shit. He really is. I've never seen, and hit 40 after chugging down some beers right before a game. I think these guys go out and party to play that bad. They have to. I mean, like they go out there, these hang with the girlies and doing what they got to do in the clubs, and they come out and play in the finals. And we sitting up there, the crowd's up there cheering, and like, yo, why the fuck he can't move? Because guess what? He didn't go to sleep last night. only people that could do that is Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman and Michael Jordan. They sit there, they can hang out to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, wake up with 2 hours of sleep and play a game and score 40. He get 20 rebounds. Everybody's not built like that. And you know it too, because trust me, when I'm not coaching, we had to sit there and monitor the rooms at 11:30 at night, especially when I was a graduate assistant, because jokers would go out and sneak out in the middle of the damn night instead of getting enough rest. So we had to sit there and be up to like 2 o'clock in the morning till their ass went to sleep. So I know what they do personally.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Go ahead.
Do you factor in now? Are you factoring in that they're in OKC? OKC, listen, they lost the first game. OKC, I'm not gonna lie, OKC be rocking, man. I don't like the Thunder, but their stadium is crazy.
Yes, it is.
And I just want to ask, how much do you think is mental? I wouldn't say it's partying. I mean, either take is good, but I think it's maybe mental. Like, we went up 1-0. We didn't think we were winning the game for real. We didn't have it in the palm of our hands. So we know they're gonna come out to kill the next game. How much mental do you think it is? Like,
Well,
do you think it's mental at all?
I think it's mental, but to a point where if you're a killer, you're a killer. And my competitiveness, I'm a killer. I want to win every game. I don't care about if you got all that money. I don't care about having another extra million here and there. I want to kill you. I want to destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 games straight. I'm going to whoop your ass on that court. That's just my thought process. I'm a killer. But some of these guys, they get all this money. They're not a killer. You know what I mean? Just finish them. Finish them and destroy them. You up 1, that means you got home court advantage. Destroy them. All 4 games straight. But they don't come in that type of mentality. They drag the shit along. They let them win 1. Then next thing you know, they're going to give up 1 at home. They're going to. And then they go drag this shit to 7. I just don't see it going anywhere but 7 because of the mentality of these young basketball players. It's business, man. But, you can't finish this at 4 and the ratings, the TV production, everybody lose money. It's just NBA.
I just heard, oh my God, I heard it's going to 7. You're the first person I heard say that.
Oh, well, guess what?
First person I heard say that.
Guess what? If it goes 5, I will be shocked. Too much money on the line to make it. The ratings in the first game was in the toilet. You got to make up that money. You have to. So you got to drag along, bring interest in. The closer it gets to where it's 3-3, the world's going to watch that last game.
That is true. That is true.
It's set up in theater.
Well, he's got a wild theory about these the NBA being rigged or the WNBA being rigged. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole of any conspiracy theories. But however, you can't take away the fact that this is built for a game 7. It's built to just go that way. That's just the way it is. And unfortunately, when you look at these 2 teams, I mean, Indiana on paper, you would say, well, I don't think they're going to match up to Oklahoma City. Well, they went in game 1 into Oklahoma City. Tyrese Halliburton hit the game-winning shot and sent everybody home stunned. Game 2, SGA said, you know what, screw that. I'm going to give you 34 and 8. with a McNugget piece. And we're going to tie this thing up going back to Indiana. Now, to Brian's point, Indiana is a team that, of course, plays better at home than what they do on the road. The numbers speak for themselves. They shoot a higher percentage from three. They shoot a higher percentage from the field. They score more points at home than they do on the road. And, of course, Tyrese Halliburton at home is just a totally complete different player. But Oklahoma City's got pieces. I mean, in my opinion, Oklahoma City is the best defensive team in the NBA. Yes, I had Cleveland number one at one point, but that went down a rabbit hole real quick in the second round of the NBA playoffs. So Kemon's got Indiana tonight, game 3. Brian, who do you have in game 3? And I'll give my prediction for game 3 and we'll move forward. Who do you got?
I got Indiana. It's just already set up. I got Indiana winning. Watch this theory. I got Indiana winning game 3. And then I have Oklahoma City winning game 4, Indiana winning game 5, and Oklahoma winning game 6. Yeah, Oklahoma winning game 6. And then the finals is when you're going to get real basketball. I got them trading off.
I think
1-1,
we got
3-3.
I think we got a hot take early, Moss.
So, of course, Brian's got this series going 7, Hondo. Who do you have in this series to win, and who's lifting up the Larry O'Brien trophy at the end of this? Let's get your prediction.
Like I said, man, I'm an OKC hater. So just to put it out there in the air, the Pacers are going to win, but just the way OKC's been killing, man, I it's hard to bet against them, bro. But it's real difficult. Like I said, to go back on what I said, the Pacers been shocking everybody the whole playoffs. Nobody had the Pacers in the conference finals. It was a foregone conclusion that it was Celtics and Cavs in the conference finals. Somehow the Pacers got there. My Celtics, let's not talk about that right now. But, I think OKC takes it. I said OKC in 5. I thought game 1 shocked me. I think that's the one that Indiana will get. But I don't know. After that, I think tonight they might could win. But I think max 6, and I think the Thunder will win. I think the Thunder will take it home, man. Shay's having a great season. Like you said, they're deep, man. They deep. Caruso, come on, 20 points from Caruso. He playing defense last series. They had him on Jokic. Huh? That the Bulls had, yes.
The Bulls had. Let him go.
Yes, they had him. But he's in a better place now. He's in the finals. He's in the finals. Year after being traded from the Bulls.
Shame on my Lakers for letting him go.
I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say about the Chicago Bulls.
Well,
but I got the Thunder, man. I'm gonna lock in and say the Thunder. I don't know exactly how many games, but I'll say the Thunder.
Good, smart man. Well, you just said that you're an OKC hater, but then you go for OKC to win the finals. But you felt some type of way with SGA, of course, being awarded the MVP this year, which he definitely deserved. But you had this argument in theory that Joker should have won it. Why, in your opinion, should Joker have won the MVP this year over SGA?
Can I read you some stats real quick, Moss? Mr. Garvin, are you listening to me right now?
Run it down.
I'm going to read you Shea stats first, right?
Okay.
32 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Granted, number 1 seed in the league, best team in the league, 68-14.
Yep.
Let me read you Jokic, a 7-foot center. Numbers, 29.6 points per game. We go round that off to 30. Okay, let's round that off to 30. 12.7 rebounds. Let's round that off to 13 rebounds. So 30 and 13. He's averaging 10 assists as a 7-foot center. Never, ever done before. Before Russell Westbrook, we go back to Oscar Robertson. I don't think none of us seen Oscar Robertson play, but it was prestige. It was you. Okay, my bad, Mr. Garvin. But come on, man, 7-foot center averaging a triple-double. And sometimes Michael Porter Jr. is invisible out there. He doesn't have what Shea has. So it's a team sport. So I'm going to contribute that to the 68-14 record. I want to say it's all Shea. We've seen players average 30 points per game multiple years. And I think it just got into a point where it's like, Jokic won it too many times. We've seen it happen. LeBron should have won way more than 4 MVPs. Come on, man. It's to the point where they're like, we can't keep – somebody new got to get an MVP. It's no argument here. I feel like it's nothing you can say to me to tell me that Shea deserved an MVP. Somebody averaged 32 points, Let me tell you this too. Jokic averaged more steals than Shea, bro. Did you know that?
You think Jokic should have got the MVP?
Jokic, the most. It's not even an argument. I low key don't even want to hear your argument because it's nothing you can say. A 7-foot center averaged a 30-point triple-double. I want to ask y'all this. What factors into being MVP? Because I promise you, if Jokic never won an MVP, he would have had one MVP this year. But we gave him 3 MVPs, 4 MVPs. We can't. Come on. Shea averaging 30, got the number 1 seed. You see how late they waited to give out the MVP? They waited till Jokic got sent home. They went to game 7. They waited until Jokic got sent home to give Shea the MVP.
We knew Joker was going to win anyway.
No, how do you know that?
How do you know that? Finals.
Listen. The MVP trophy is based off a lot of different calibers every year. There is no, for some reason, the NBA don't have a standard when it comes to the MVP. Every year, the voting process changes. The criteria of the voting changes on who's determined to get the MVP. Joker, in my opinion, had a great year. Correct, right? Denver didn't really have a great year because, of course, they fired a coach 6 games before the damn season ended, before going to the playoffs. Joker literally wheeled Denver through the playoffs before they got eliminated. But SGA has been averaging 30 points for 3 years consecutively. He's got the number 1 record in the NBA. He's got over 68 wins, 68-14. Best record in the NBA. And right now, his team is in the NBA Finals. You damn right he deserves a fucking MVP this year. Absolutely. And it's nothing against Joker. Nothing against Joker at all. At all. I mean...
So basically, the NBA already then wrote the damn script, and OKC is going to win the whole damn thing because he's the MVP. I can't stand it. I can't stand this shit. It's just what it is. It's just criminal the way this is. And fire every damn body in them damn offices. It makes no sense how they do stuff. Oklahoma, they need some damn money in that damn city anyway. Tulsa, they need help in that city as well. I get it. Cleveland got their little money. Now Oklahoma City, they need their little money for the city and boost up some revenue. I understand. It still sucks. And it's ass to do this. I'm like, wait till the season's over to grant the MVPs. That's my opinion. Just wait till it's over, until it's done. Do they grant MVPs anywhere else until the season is over? Wait till the season's over. The next day you can, guess what? You can do it right after the last game. That's it. But yet,
better yet, they should have after the season, they should have a NBA award show.
Yeah.
Where they invite all alumni, former players, former coaches, just like they do in soccer.
Yeah.
Take a piggyback. Even NFL. NFL honors an award show every year. They do it after the season. They bring everybody after. They announce the winners, who won MVP, who's comeback player of the year, who's coach of the year. Have a big gala. Do it big. But first off, doing it during the playoffs is a major distraction. When I'm in the playoffs, I don't care about a damn MVP award. I care about getting to the NBA Finals. Yeah. And SGA was awarded this during the Western Conference Final, right before the NBA Finals. And hell with that MVP. We can talk about it after the season. We're focused on trying to get a championship. But the NBA has to – they find ways to be creative, of course, to help the revenue and help the ratings because they've been down this year. It's been a complete clusterphobic disaster. And, SGA winning is good for the city of Oklahoma. It's good for his career. He deserves it. No doubt about it. He's been the best point guard in the league. And you can't name a better point guard in the league right now than SGA.
MVP is not position awards, though.
Does he deserve the MVP? Yes or no?
No, Moss. I told you this. I will argue this time. Mr. What? No problem. Brian, what you think?
No problem. First off,
what you think?
First, Brian already had his theory.
Listen, listen. 30-point triple-double. I don't think you understood.
33 years in a row. Average.
We seen so Tatum deserved an MVP. Then he averaged 30. What? 2 seasons ago?
Look, I'm like this with players averaging 30 plus points in these games that they play with no defense. You can have Monty Moss in the game and he can average 30 against this sorry-ass defense that they play in the NBA. Seriously, I sit there and like this. You can stand underneath the basket and score 30 a night. Do that make you an MVP? No, it doesn't. It's just how you got that 30. So, SGA, he proved this point this year of how he got the 30 for the past 2 or 3 years. He possibly could have been the best player in the league. He did a phenomenal job. His record shows. I'm going to give it to the guy. Even Joker, I think Joker is just, it's just the league the way it is. Do Joker average 30 and triple doubles in 20 years ago? No, I just don't think he does it. It's just what it is. I think he's going to be ass in 20 years ago. Now the scoring opportunities is wide the hell open. Yeah. So I just don't think that look, I think I can average 18, 20 points in this league today.
Shit, I can average 17 points right now. I sit in the corner all night.
Yeah, it's just they stand around the perimeter and they chuck up threes. Boston was sitting there shooting 50, 60 threes. You got to be. I turn that shit off. If I want to do that, I go play PlayStation because that's all you do is shoot threes in PlayStation.
2K.
Or 2K, 3K, 5K, whatever it is.
No, look, the era of course, the defensive physicality has changed, but he wasn't averaging 30 when Dwight Howard was guarding him. You forget about that? It's nothing against Joker. But how many bigs are in today's NBA that can actually defend? Joker. You
don't have any bigs.
Joker is one of 3 centers in today's NBA that actually still plays back to the basketball down low. And he very rare is he stretching it out to the 3-point. Only bigs that can do that in today's game is him, Joel Embiid when healthy, and Anthony Davis. Outside of that, ain't nobody. And I would say Cat, but Cat, he won't spend his time too much out in the perimeter. Outside of that, there's nobody else in the league that's guarding Joker 48 minutes a night. Who's guarding Joker? Nobody. Joker bring the ball up for crying out loud. So shit. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just what it is with today's NBA. It's nothing against Joker. I think his skill set fits perfectly with this NBA because there's not a lot of bigs that train hard to defend that. It's hard to defend Joker. His footwork is pretty good despite his height and his weight. But, at the end of the day, SGA, he does more with less in terms of his skill set in his bag to get to the basket. And to average 30 points for 3 years straight is not easy. Especially and not to mention he's played every single NBA regular season game this year.
So give him the scoring title. Give him the scoring title, not MVP.
He got that already this year. You forgot?
That's enough.
Nope.
Bro, everything y'all said is scoring related. I'm talking about all around the board, all around play. I'm a Rondo fan.
I think, with Hondo, and I can agree with him on this one, is that it's his skill set. He's got a weird, unorthodox game. It's just weird. And he's a little bit off balance the way he plays point guard. It's just weird to me. But, he's long, he's lanky. He does some great things in there. But he's just unsure of himself at this point. But he's effective doing it. So, hey, man, if he can do this thing at 6'6", 6'7", or however tall he is, let him keep doing what it works for him. So give him the MVP this year, and let's see what happens next year. Does he repeat this again? Who knows?
Probably not.
Yeah, but right now, it's going to stand what it is. They gave it to him, and hey, they're going to win the whole damn thing anyway. So that's just it is what it is.
Yeah, let's pivot.
And I'll be shocked if they didn't.
If Indiana win, man, this would be the most. Man. They'll go down in history, man. Most underrated team ever.
They will
succeed.
OKC's a favorite in this final series. They've been the favorite to win, to even be in the finals since the playoffs started. No other team in the West was a favorite to get to the finals besides OKC. They're the best team in the NBA, and it shows for it. But Hondo, let's piggyback. Let's switch some gears. I know you're a diehard Celtics fan coming on here with all this damn green tonight. But, of course, your Celtics had a really disappointing ending to their NBA playoff season with, of course, Jason Tatum tearing his Achilles, losing to the New York Knicks. And a lot of question marks going into this offseason for the Boston Celtics. And Brad Stevens, this will by far be his hardest offseason this year as running basketball operations for the Celtics. This roster is getting older. Your payroll is almost at $1 billion with over $800 million. Kristaps Porzingis wasn't the Kristaps Porzingis we saw last year. He was injured most of the year. He was injured in the playoffs, wasn't effective. Al Horford age is creeping up. Drew Holiday's not the same Drew Holiday. His age is creeping up. Jaylen Brown is going to be the star in the face of this team as the number one option next season for the Boston Celtics. You won't have Jason Tatum next year either to recover from his torn Achilles injury. But Hondo, of course, you love the Celtics. This has been your squad for a long time. If you're Brad Stevens and this Celtics team, what moves do you looking to make to create some cap, but as well as to create a roster that's going to be effective to get back to the NBA playoffs next year?
I think next year I got two takes on this actually. I think with Jaylen Brown leading the charge, we got guys, man. Al Horford, I don't know his situation. I don't know if he's gonna retire or he come back another year, but you know, he obviously matters in some capacity. But Sam Hauser, replaceable shooter. I think we got guys as in we got a guy named JD Davison who just won a G League MVP. Let him get some more minutes, man. Surround, you know, Kristaps Porzingis out of here, gone, just gone. I'm not gonna lie to you, gone, man. He can't stay healthy. Maybe we could get some, you know, maybe some assets. I wouldn't say draft picks, but I'd say maybe, you know, maybe I don't know, like a Jabari Smith Jr. or I don't know, man. Maybe, you know, some young guys that we could benefit from. Drew Holiday, like I said, I think he still is great on defense, but offensively he declined. So going in the next season, I think we could let, you know, a 6th man of the year, Peyton Pritchard, you know, get some more shine. Derek White, phenomenal. I love Derek White. Let him shine a little more. He already take 10 threes a game with Tatum being there. Let him get some more shots. Let him fill the court a little more. Like I said, Sam Hauser, you know, the replaceable. I think we could get Kristaps and Drew Holiday out of here and get some great or decent pieces to surround, you know, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard around. Al Horford, like I said, he's up in the air. I think we won't find much success without a stretch big. So I think maybe that's something we'll need to prioritize. We get rid of Kristaps, we need something back to fill that void. But in the same capacity, I don't know if it's a center or, you know, like I said, young core pieces. I don't know exactly. But my other take I want to say is, you know, it might not be possible, but to get Jaylen Brown out of here, man. You got two dudes on the same team. Seriously. Listen, you already said Tatum. I don't want to put that in my head that Tatum going to be gone the whole season.
He will be. He's torn his Achilles. It's going to take him. He's going to be out for a year.
Too late. Yeah, too late in a year. But get Jaylen Brown. Hear me out. Get Jaylen Brown out of here. You got two guys on the same team making $600 million combined, I think. $600 million. Get him out of here. Blow the squad up, man. Get it ready for Tatum to come back. Like I said, I don't know what you get for Jaylen Brown. I don't know who would take on that, you know, that cap space. But nobody, yeah, you know, like I said, it might not be possible, but that's my other take. Get Jaylen Brown out of here. Let the other guys shine. Let Derek White shine. Let Peyton Pritchard shine. We might just be ass next year. Well, but you know, get us ready for Tatum to come back and set the pieces in stone, man. We can get draft picks. Like I said, we got guys. Brandon Shireman, I think that's his name. Let him step up to the plate a little more. Yeah, man, that's my other take. I think Jaylen Brown, if possible, get Jaylen. Yeah. I'm with it as a Celtics fan. Get him out of here and ride in the Tatum, you know, train.
So basically, you're saying to blow up the Celtics team for a year, to have JT come back. Who knows if we? Of course, Brian has said. Dr. Galvin has said that Jason Tatum won't be the same with coming back from his Achilles, despite him being 26 years old, being young. But you just paid them all his money before the NBA season started, right? You gave him all that max contract money. You can't move that in the offseason. It's hard to move that to a team that's going to take on that deal because he's got all that guarantee money, over $300 million. But this is the time where Jaylen Brown, he wants to be the number one guy. He said he's looking forward to the challenge. Hell, he played with a torn meniscus in the Knicks series, when he was hobbling in that loss at the Garden when the Knicks advanced to the next round against Indiana. You can't afford to blow this up. So that's a bad idea. If you're Brad Stevens, don't listen to fucking Hondo because that'll be a bad idea. Your organization be trash. You have an opportunity, however, to make some key pieces. You can't pull a Sam Presti, of course, to have all these number one draft picks that Oklahoma City still has in the bag, right? But if you're Boston, if you're Brad Stevens, you have to go young. You need bigs. You need bigs that can play. I thought one of the worst decisions that Boston made was letting go Robin Williams, who was a great glass rim protector. He ran the floor effectively. He was a big key piece with Al Horford down low. That's now gone. But now you have Porzingis. He needs an offseason to get healthy. That's damn sure for sure. He can't afford to have another season. He's getting up there in age. What do you do with him? What are you going to do with Al Horford? The guy's pushing 40, if not 40 this year. What do you do with that? Do you bring him back for another year to be a locker room veteran guy? We know how good he is. Coach of obviously, you have Drew Holiday, who at one point was one of the best defensive guards in the NBA. That is slowly going on a decline. Derek White has been your guy. Peyton Pritchard has been your guy off the bench. Those are two key pieces you want to have going into next year with Jaylen Brown. I don't think the Celtics are in danger, of course, with Jason Tatum being out. It's the Eastern Conference for crying out loud. Boston can still win 40 games without Jason Tatum. That's just my personal theory, depending on how Jaylen Brown comes in to start the season. But everyone must match his intensity and match his tone because it's going to start with him next year. And we know Boston has some of the ingredients, when healthy, to make a deep run. I don't know what's going to happen in the NBA offseason. It's always chaos each year. Moves are happening day in and day out during NBA free agency. So we have to wait and see. But if you're the Boston Celtics and you're Brad Stevens, Bryant, you got a lot of things to figure out. And you have pretty much this NBA offseason to get things right if you want to be successful in the Eastern Conference going into next season. Am I correct or am I wrong with this?
Well, he's got to go to the damn portal. it's just the portal is calling his damn name because they in some trouble. I can't see losing Tatum. That's a major loss. It kind of showed in the playoffs here. He's going to have to make some wheels and deals. Somebody may have to take a pay cut somehow, some way to get some players. They almost in the same situation as the Knicks are. Just too heavy at the top, not enough at the bottom. And it's hard to just keep winning that way. They won last year, but this year it kind of hurt them because they had nobody come off the bench to make up that production while he tore his Achilles. It just, I don't know what they're going to do. It's just too much money involved, and I'm going to wish the Boston the best of luck because it's going to be a struggle. Do I think they're going to be ass next year? Yes, they are. But the Eastern Conference to me is ass anywhere except for Cleveland. If Cleveland sit there and bring what's my guy's name from off the G League?
Amani Bates.
If they bring Bates up, woo!
Bates could play.
Woo! If they bring Bates up, there's no excuse why they shouldn't be in the finals. If they bring Bates up. There's no excuse. I mean, because they were missing scoring this year. I said that defensively they can, but scoring with Bates, I will be shocked if they don't make it to the finals next year with Bates coming up off the G League. If they bring him up, but he has some off the court issues that they have to justify bringing him up. But Imani is tough. He's a stream beam, but that's a stream beam that can score. And, I want him to come on up and take a shot on him.
Yeah, I only played in 10 NBA games this year for the Cavs. His highest was 24 points against the Indiana Pacers in the regular season. That's a piece that Cleveland damn sure could have used in the playoffs with, of course, Darius Garland being out in game 1 and 2, as well as Evan Mobley being out games 1 and 2. And bringing Mobley and Garland back in game 3 and 4, it just was off. Donovan Mitchell showed up. But it would be nice to have a partner in crime that can also score, that can give you 25 with ease as well with this skill set. But we have to wait and see to next year. Shout out to the Cavs who disappointed me, but that's okay. WNBA Commissioner Cup is underway, as we talked about last week. There are two teams still undefeated in WNBA, the New York Liberty and the Minnesota Lynx. These are two teams right now that are hottest. These two teams arguably could meet this year in the finals. People have already been starting to talk about the buzz. Yes, we're 9 games in. Anything can still happen, so a long way to go. However, Liberty had a game yesterday against the Chicago Sky. 85-66 was your final. Angel Reese, 17 points, 11 rebounds. Another double-double for her. Only 2 players in double figures for the Sky. Ariel Atkins was the second player for the Sky, only having 11 points. Sky shot 42% from the field, 26% from 3, 6 of 23 from three-point. Liberty, of course, the best team, the hottest team besides the Lynx in the WNBA. Sabrina Ionescu does what she does on a night-end basis, 23 points, 7 assists. Brianna Stewart, her partner in crime, 18 and 7. Liberty shot 47% from the field, 8 of 29 from 3, but that didn't matter. Just a key note here, just for in terms of stats. Liberty are by far one of the best defensive teams in the WNBA, holding Chicago to 66 points in 4 quarters. They put on an absolute show. They've shown why they are the best team in the WNBA, arguably. I won't make that argument just yet. But, of course, when you have Brianna Stewart come out in the press conference and say, we're ready to do more, this is only the beginning, the rest of the WNBA better wash the fuck out because Liberty is not here to play. Flip side, Minnesota Lynx, 9-0. Napheesa Collier still leads the league in scoring. Arguably, right now, if I had to put a vote in today, Napheesa Collier is my MVP of the league. She does it on a night-in and night-out basis, 25 points a game, 81-65 over the Wings, 28 and 10, 10 for 19 from the field. Minnesota Lynx outscored the Wings 24-9 in the fourth quarter, held the Wings to 29% from the field. That was just impressive defensive display from the Lynx. For 17 turnovers, I don't care who you are, turn the ball over 17 times in any game, damn sure ain't going to win. Whereas the NBA, rather the WNBA, Paige Beckers, of course, leads the league in assists with Caitlin Clark being out with her groin injury, 6 assists a game. Caitlin Clark was leading the league with 9. Angel Reese still leads the WNBA in rebounds at over 12 a game. But Bryant, of course, sidetracking from the Lynx and Liberty, who are both 9-0. We all know that these two teams in particular could meet in the WNBA Finals when it's all said and done. The next team after that is the Atlanta Dream, but Atlanta, of course, has some ways to go, being at 6-3 currently. But when we talk about Angel Reese, there's been a lot of criticism recently within the last 2 weeks, I'd say, particularly this week, with criticisms of her game, only shooting 35% from the field down low, which is really a low percentage for a big. Most bigs in the WNBA as well as the NBA have a high percentage from shooting that low. She does leads the WNBA in double-doubles. But, Bryant, what you've seen from her this year with obviously all the talk coming into the season, her arguably having a great having a great offseason, what's been your perspective on her game this year? And what are some things that you're not impressed with from the Chicago Sky?
Well, I'm going to go back to when you said about the turnovers. 17. And they have 17 turnovers.
That was the Wings. That was the Wings.
Right, with the Wings. Right. And you say it's hard to win again. The Pacers won with 25.
Game 1, yes.
That's just an anomaly. You just don't happen.
You shouldn't win with that many turnovers.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't, but they did. And that goes to show you how this shit is fixed. So, at the end of the day, 20 that's ridiculous. 25, that's an L on anybody's team. So, however, with Angel Reese, they are sitting here. They are making bets online. I swear to you. And I look at social media all day as a retired man. I ain't got nothing else to do. So I'm sitting here and I'm going through everybody's stuff. They are literally making bets on Angel Reese to miss her first shot and getting a rebound and getting a putback. And these jokers are winning 95%. That's insane. I think, in the offseason, she was so focused on being a cover girl, makeup, and all this other bullshit going on. Fashion, this and that. She didn't work on a game. She's soft. She's soggy. I think that I'm just serious. I don't respect the 17 points that she had. I just don't. I don't like the way she plays. I don't think she's physical enough. You know what I'm saying? And it's showing because to be that tall, she played better at LSU, just to be honest. Right now, she's an entertainer, and I'm like, I like grit, and as a coach, I'll be have a tough time coaching her because she don't play hard enough for me. Yeah, I mean, she's about fame and bringing out on Instagram and doing all this other bullshit. Cool, but come to work. You got to come to work. You come to work. You work hard. You play hard. Then you go. You can do all the other shit, but come to work. You get what I'm saying? It's just hard for me to sit here and watch it and have these guys winning hundreds of thousands of dollars off her missing her first damn shot, and have them lose $100,000 because they betting $100,000 that you're gonna miss, and they're winning 95%. Shit, I'm close to making that bet because I know they're gonna win, especially her being soggy this year. It makes no sense. So she need to go back to the drawing board after this season and become better. It's just what it is. If you want that Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese thing to keep going, become better. Because right now, with Caitlin Clark sitting on the bench, she's still better than you.
When we look at the Chicago Sky team being 2-6 this year, not a lot of expectations coming in, but when I look at this team, I expect more from Camila Cardozo. I expect more from Kia Nurse. I expect more from Elizabeth Williams. Chicago doesn't have a bad team. It's not that bad than what it may look like. But this team has just been offensively, really dysfunctional to watch. It's hard for them to kind of get anything going as far as an offensive flow or offensive rhythm. You can't play through Angel Reese. You're not going to win a game that way. She's not that type of caliber player until she works on her skill set, until she can get her fundamentals and her bag right. Then maybe you can go through her first. But I thought last year, Sky, they did a good job with playing with, of course, having Cardozo go through first, which opened up doors for Angel Reese in her game, which why she looked the way she did last year for the Sky. But with Sky being at 2-6 right now, they're 2-6 in the last 10 games. They're just have a lot of things that they need to figure out. But it's still early. Of course, a lot of eyes, a lot of bullseyes on Angel Reese back in the Chicago Sky team. But that's what comes with the smoke when you want to be out in the offseason and doing all these different things. And there's nothing wrong with endorsements and getting your money, securing the bag, and creating a lifestyle for yourself for generations to come. But the WNBA, the Chicago Sky team needs you more than ever. They draft you for a reason. And Angel Reese has got a lot of things she's got to work on, and we shall see. But right now, my MVP this year is Napheesa Collier. There's nobody in the WNBA better than her. I would say Aja Wilson because, I love the aces. Shout out to Jackie Young, one of my favorite point guards I love to watch. But 100% hands down, Lynx and New York Liberty, sign me up right now for the NBA Finals. Let's go get this shit on and get it cracking. Give Napheesa Collier the NBA trophy right now. And let's just do what we do because that's what it's all about. Commissioner Cup continues with more action tonight as well as tomorrow. You guys can catch that on ESPN and wherever you follow your WNBA teams. Officially, we are here because we talked about it last week, Bryant, with where will Aaron Rodgers land this NFL's offseason before going into the new year. And damn it, we did talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. We had an NFL legend on, Reggie Brown. Great day to be alive. Shout out to Reggie Brown, who was shipping me out his book, signed autograph. Shout out to Reggie. Appreciate you, brother. Chris, remind me to send him the bill for last week's episode because, God damn it, that guy, yes, he can talk. He proves that he can talk. But that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Aaron Rodgers officially is the quarterback, QB1 of the Pittsburgh Steelers. But before we get into the Pittsburgh Steelers talk, I do want to bring on someone that knows a little bit about the Steelers. Being a Baltimore fanatic, when they play each other twice a year. He's a lifetime Raiders fan as well as a Saints supporter, lives in New Orleans now, and is a rolling with the Ravens while his cousin Xavier, rookie number 87 out of Arizona State, undrafted wide receiver. He also is a marketing tech executive, con law, and regular voice of AI York Sports Show with a bunch of guest spots. He's big on chess. His chaos theory is calling it like he sees it. Sounds like Bryant. He's an Oakland born and bred. But, Mark, let's get him in New Orleans' finest. Joining us here on the Rewind. Better late than never, as they say.
Let's go. Hey, we got to get this. We got to get the time right. I'm CST. I'm down in New Orleans. It's all good. Good to see you, Monty. Hey, Bryant.
Always.
What's going on, Mark?
What's up? So, just to go around, we got to die Chicago Bears fans. Bryant. Hondo is a pathetic, delusional New York Giants fan. And, of course, you know me, New England Patriots, baby. That's what we do. But, all right, let's get into it. I want to get you right in the hot seat. Aaron Rodgers, one-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. What does this move do for the Steelers? Of course, they acquired DK Metcalf. We already seen this in the offseason, Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf getting some work in L.A. With all the chaos and frenzy going around with where will he go? Is it the Minnesota Vikings like Brett Favre? He's going to the Steelers. Talks died down between him and the Steelers, but now they officially get a deal done, one-year deal. What should the Steelers expect to see, and what's your perspective on Aaron Rodgers being the QB1 in Pittsburgh?
I mean, they should expect excellence. I think this took a long time because Coach T had to talk to homeboy and tell him he had to come to OTAs. He had to come to minicamp and exact to him what he had to do in order to be a part of the Pittsburgh Steelers and be a part of Coach Tomlin's program. So I think this is a good thing for the Steelers fans. I mean, I like it. It's a one-year deal. I don't think it was Tomlin's call. I think it was the owner's call, honestly. I think Tomlin wanted to go another direction, and he still can go another direction. But I like what Aaron Rodgers is saying about, hey, he mentioned his coach like 3 times. And in his press conference, he said, Coach T, Coach T, Coach T. I like when a quarterback is saying that. So I like the move for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a low risk, big win move for them, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, always a good thing, I think, when you bring in a guy like Aaron Rodgers. Give him an offensive line, he can make shit happen. He's already proven that in his career. His last 2 years with the Jets, he didn't have an offensive line, of course, being his first year as a Jet, only 3 plays in, tearing his Achilles. Year 2, he was running for his life. They had no running game established. But Pittsburgh, this is an all-in move for the Steelers when I look at this, because you brought back Mason Rudolph. That's really not the way to go if you're trying to go into the future. I think Mike Tomlin, this may be his last year with Pittsburgh, regardless of how the year finishes. I personally would like to see Mike Tomlin do an Andy Reid 2.0, go to another organization, bring in that winning mentality, that winning culture that organization may need, turn it around, possibly compete for a Super Bowl. Yes, he's had winning seasons since he's been in Pittsburgh, but let's not forget last year they went on a 5-game losing streak, including losing on the road in Baltimore in the playoffs with Russell Wilson as quarterback. So there's a lot of things that this Pittsburgh Steelers organization is at. Personally, if this is the last ride for Mike Tomlin, why not go all out with a bang? You get DK Metcalf, a high-caliber wide receiver who can get you 1,000 yards with his eyes closed. He does more with less as quarterback. I mean, ask Geno Smith last year what they were able to accomplish. And then fast forward, you bring in Aaron Rodgers, who, in my opinion, today is still a top 5 quarterback when throwing that damn football, because he can put that ball anywhere in the field. You name it, he can get it there. Just give him some time. He's got a decent offensive line, but let's not mention Pittsburgh has a top 5 defense in the NFL last year, and they bring that nucleus back this year. Hopefully, T.J. Watt, of course, can be healthy and what they already have with that dynamic in Pittsburgh. But as Mark said, low risk, high reward. Bryant, Kemon, let me get you guys' perspective on this. Brian, of course, you follow this Aaron Rodgers frenzy. What does this move do for the Steelers, and what do you think Aaron Rodgers will do this upcoming year with DK Metcalf as his wide receiver throw to?
I think that this is, it's a toss-up. But I think Aaron is going to do well. I think Tomlin is going to do well, just like he always do. These guys find a way to win, and that's what got him to hold his job at Pittsburgh for this long. I expect the same thing. I think they're going to still be a playoff team. They probably want to be in a better playoff team, but you're not going to have a quarterback back there with legs that he can run. He can run a little bit, but he's basically going to get the ball out of his hands quicker, and he's got a better offensive line than he had in the past. So I expect him to surprise a lot of people. I personally think that if he wins and he gets to the second round of playoffs, and possibly maybe to the third round, he keeps his job and he stays. If they go 8-8 or not 8-9 or 7-10 or whatever, how many games they playing right now, I think he's gone. And it's just what it is. They like to play the type of rabbit's foot type quarterbacks and change it in and out and get older guys in there and experience. And Tomlin is not stupid. Is probably one of the smartest coaches that are out there, and he want experienced guys. He don't want to take his chances on a rookie. I was surprised that he didn't take Sanders. I thought he would. I thought he would start everything over and put everything on the line with him. But he's about business. He wants his money. It's money over bullshit. So he chose Aaron Rodgers. He chose the guy that had the experience. And I think they're going to make some noise for him and Metcalf. I may take Metcalf in a fantasy football here this year just because of it. But you just don't know. It remains to be seen. And, because everything's new. And, I hope for the best. I'm a somewhat of a Pittsburgh guy because I live in PA. So it is what it is. I was never an Eagles fan. I'm not an Eagles guy. My partner that passed away, he's a diehard bleed green guy. So I like Pittsburgh. I don't like the Eagles too much, but I will root for them because I live here. Other than that, I expect Pittsburgh to do some good work this year.
Hondo, what do you expect to see from Aaron Rodgers and this Steelers team with him announcing this one-year deal? What does this do for the Steelers? Is this a good move for Aaron Rodgers personally right now in his career? And what are some of your expectations that Pittsburgh fans should want to see or expect to see from him this year?
Very short response for me. I'm going to go, I think it's win now or go home for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not I don't really specialize too much in football, but from an underclassman standpoint, I think it's win now or go home. You had a young quarterback in Justin Fields that you didn't really give a chance. You had an old Russell Wilson that you've seen some success with, but towards the end of the season, it kind of fell off, and y'all went it didn't really end good. Now you got a Aaron Rodgers who's aging. For 1 year, if you lose, where do you go after this? I feel like ever since the post Ben Roethlisberger, from my knowledge, the Steelers have just been teetering in the same spot. And I feel like this is just another, hey, we got Russell Wilson. Hey, we got Justin Fields. But, really nothing goes on here. For Aaron Rodgers, I think he got to cut the ego a little bit. And if he buys into Tomlin's system, maybe something good can happen. But I think it's just revolving door with the Steelers. I think it's, up, down, high, lows. But come time, I think it's going to be a low for them. I think it'll be fun to watch. DK Metcalf, I think he's a little up there in age too. But yeah, man, I think it's win or go home for the Steelers. If they don't win, I think it's just blow everything up. Tomlin gone. A-Rod does not have another year in him there. It's a rental, basically. Let's try to win a championship now. And if not, we don't know where we go from here. I know Tomlin might get out of here. Aaron Rodgers out of here. Where do we go? So,
and also, to your point, there's a great quarterback class coming out 2026 that features, Archie Manning and Sam Levitt, and there's like 6 great quarterbacks coming out. So this could be a good move for the Steelers.
It is. What I will say with this, and this is how I feel, from a spiritual soul point, you couldn't ask for a better move if you're Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you were in New York. That was a disaster in itself. You got your head coach arguably fired. You saved your boy Hackett. He became the interim head coach. He was the offensive coordinator with you in Green Bay. You brought him over to New York. You made all these pieces of moves. You acquired Devontae Adams, had Alan Lazard. You brought the gang back together.
Mm-hmm.
Year one, you had, of course, Randall Cobb, which was old. But from an eternal point, this is the best reset move that Aaron Rodgers could ask for. I mean, we know what the Steelers culture is all about. We know what Mike Tomlin does from a discipline standpoint and the expectations that he sets for his team. And this is probably, besides Mike McCarthy, I know Aaron Rodgers had a little bit of leeway with Mike McCarthy later on in his career when the two were in Green Bay together. But the same ideas or same things that you probably used to think you can get away with or did get away with in Green Bay or you did get away with New York, it's just not going to fly in Pittsburgh. And for Aaron Rodgers to play for a coach like Mike Tomlin, with, of course, his stature that he has in the NFL and the respect that goes around the league from the front office to the other coaches, Aaron Rodgers, this only makes his game that much better. I think he has a lot to prove, especially from what happened in New York the last 2 years. And Aaron Rodgers got nothing to lose. He literally has nothing to lose. We know what he can do when he's healthy. We know what he can do with the football. Put some pieces around him. I do think Pittsburgh should go out and get another piece offensively. They are run-heavy offense. We've seen that last year with Russell Wilson. They ran the ball more than they threw. And, to go into Baltimore, to go into Cincinnati, you need to throw the ball at least 40 times for a shot to win. Running the ball on the ground, if you're Pittsburgh, it's not going to work. You got a quarterback that can throw. You got a quarterback that's good on play action, that's good on the run. His accuracy is amazing. He can throw the ball deep downfield. Good soul search for Aaron Rodgers. I expect him to see that. But, of course, Bryant, you said that Aaron Rodgers, of course, didn't tell anybody, but he got married. Do you think that causes some type of distraction for the Steelers, or is that just something that's going to blow over?
I think he should have waited another year because when you do that, all kind of shit happens. And he's late in the game with it. Kudos on him. And that's telling me when you get married with a 1-year contract, that's telling me that he's going to retire after this year. That's just that's what's going to happen. So I understand why he did it. He knows, and everybody should read between the lines. This is his last year before he calls it quits. So he might well go ahead and get married, and he's going to move on to his next career. Mark, I like exactly what you said. I think the Steelers are building towards looking at a slew of quarterbacks that are coming out. Archie Manning is, to me, he's a good quarterback. He just runs weird. He's got a weird, unorthodox type. He looks like Peyton Manning a little bit. He's just slow as hell, but he's got a cannon behind him. I'm going to be curious to see what he does in Texas and see what if he can produce there and make some good things happen. He's got a ton of freaking talent behind him at that school. I mean, they are loaded at Texas. So I'm be curious. High on a hog watching Texas this year to see what he does, because I've been itching to see if he can beat up those other quarterbacks. But we already know how the politics steps in, and they had to play the other guys to get them drafted beforehand. But now, as we see it, man, Pittsburgh should be able to do their thing and move along and kind of continue on their glory of winning 10, 11, 12 games. And I'll be curious to sit there and see if they actually do pull the Peyton Manning routine of letting Aaron Rodgers win the Super Bowl before he exits. That's, he did the shit with Denver. He had a noodle arm and they won the Super Bowl. I'm like, I can't stand this shit. I really can't, because I can throw farther than Peyton Manning doing that year, and he won a freaking Super Bowl. Go figure. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised. I just really wouldn't. Him playing Baltimore. Since you're there with Baltimore, I'm gonna sit there and watch their game like no other, and be like, "Oh, let's see what happens." But I'm looking forward to this year. I'm looking forward to the draft next year to see what's going to happen. College football is going to be something to watch this year, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, we got some exciting news to talk about if you are a Ravens fan. Of course, Mark's cousin being undrafted this year, being signed to the Baltimore Ravens, coming out of Arizona State, did play at Idaho State before then. But, Mark, I'm sure you are pretty proud of your cousin Xavier being in purple in Baltimore. Baltimore Ravens finishing 12-4 last year, joining an elite wide receiver class, of course, with Zay Flowers, who I love as my favorite fantasy pick each and every year because he shows up and shows out. He's got Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, damn it, needs to win a damn Super Bowl, for crying out loud. But, Mark, let's get your perspective on this. Talk to me a little bit about your cousin Xavier for people that may not know, as well as Ravens fans that may not know, from his journey to where he is to get to the NFL, but a little bit of backstory and how you get there. And what do you think Baltimore's fans can expect from Xavier as he's busting his ass to get a roster spot heading into this year's NFL season?
Oh, well, hey, you know what? Number one, before I even get to that, thank you again, Monty, for having me on. And good to see you guys. I've been watching you guys for a little bit, so I appreciate it. Yeah, Xavier is, like you said, busting his ass. He has wide receiver hands and talent. If you look at the Big 12 championship, you saw his hands. I mean, it was like the catch of the year. But, I think what he's doing up there in Owings Mills is fighting to make the team. But he's a great special teamer and a great wide receiver. So he has a really good grasp on how to make the team. If you don't know about the Baltimore Ravens, they have a pretty good receiving core. They just signed DeAndre Hopkins. They have Rashad Bateman, and then they have another rookie wide receiver that was a Pro Bowler last year. So it's a tight receiver room. Xavier adds a 6'3", 205-pound Bill, but he also plays special teams and he blocks. That was the thing that was great about Hines Ward being his coach at Arizona State last year, that he taught not just being a wide receiver, but how to block. I think that Hines Ward is the difference between Xavier, like basically not making an NFL squad or being signed to a 3-year rookie contract, to actually being signed with the Ravens right now. The Ravens wanted him for a reason, because 5 minutes after the draft ended, he signed to a UDFA 3-year rookie deal. They like his blocking. The special teams aspect is going to be great for him. The OTAs are going great, and the kid is just putting it all out there, and the team is loving him. I've seen some reports, as little as they are. There's not too many reports on UDFAs, but I've seen some reports, man. They love this kid's energy. They love his tenacity. They love the fact that he just they're balling out there with the Ravens. I like the Ravens' energy. Honestly, I have not paid attention to the Ravens before. I'm paying attention now, obviously, because I have a vested interest, because I have a family member playing for them. But I didn't know they're coming out this season different than the rest of the seasons. I'm not sure what you guys take is objectively, because I'm not. I gotta admit, I'm not objective. But the Ravens are going to have a great. They're trying to win the Super Bowl day one.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this. Look, because I'm a Baltimore fan outside of my Chicago Bears. I've had a majority of my team, my fantasy is from Baltimore. I had the quarterback from Baltimore for like 2 and 3 years. I've been so freaking disappointed because they just can't finish. They start off the gate really slow, and then he turns it on, and then he slows down again towards playoff season. They got to finish, and Flowers, for whatever reason, can't stay healthy enough to finish a year. If they have the intangibles there, they have all the nucleus there, they have an extra, and now they have your cousin there. He's 6'3". They're not going to get rid of a 6'3", 205 receiver, because those guys are hard to find. They're going to have him, even if they even have him on the practice squad, to even bring him up, because Flowers get hurt. So it makes sense to keep him on. I'm like this. I think that they possibly could win a Super Bowl. I've been thinking that for the past 2 or 3 years. Jackson he's got to dominate the game. Like, man, you're the point guard. So take over the freaking game. Now, some of that is on the coaches.
Yep.
Because you ran the same freaking play that didn't work in the season. You ran it in the playoff and it didn't work, and it wound up the same damn result. How the hell can you not get in the goddamn end zone on the 1-yard line and you ran the same freaking play? That just drove me fucking crazy. I was like this. You got to be fucking kidding me, right? And I'm a tight end, right? And I'm like, you threw the ball to the sorriest tight end.
No.
Who did they throw it to?
You threw the ball to your best tight end, Mark Andrews. He dropped the damn ball in the end zone.
Yeah, if he's your best tight end, he suck at that moment because he dropped the shit twice.
Okay, but there was a story behind that play. Right?
Yes, there was.
Right?
Tell him, Mark. Tell him. Mark.
What's the story?
So apparently he didn't see the ball, so he couldn't see the ball, because I thought that when I heard it, when he talks about the play, he said that particular time the light was right in his eyes and he couldn't see the ball, and like, because Mark Andrews catches those. That's his.
That's a gimme. Yeah.
So like he's not a guy that's gonna drop that pass. Something happened to him, and like he said, I couldn't see the ball. The light was
Hey, Mark. I played tight end for years. I played college for years. That ball touched my goddamn hand, I'm catching. I don't give a shit if you had Moses in my way.
It hit his hands.
You're going to catch. I'm going to catch it. I've had many passes like that. The sun in my eyes, the whole night, and I've caught it. And that historically, we're gonna have some people on, and they're gonna tell you how I played. Brian, I caught it. All they need to do is feel it.
Brian, you ain't never dropped a pass.
No.
Brian.
No, think about it. Hold on. I'm going to bring on people, and they're going to sit there and say, look, he hardly, I may have dropped 2 or 3 passes my whole entire career. I'm putting that on God.
I was shocked. I'm gonna give you the roses. You might not ever drop the pass. I was shocked that Andrews dropped that pass.
I can't. You just don't drop those. That's a cupcake.
No, Marc Andrews is one of the top tight ends in
all pro
day football, and I was shocked he dropped that pass. That was the winning touchdown.
Yes,
literally.
Yes,
you going to AFC Championship.
Look, he can blame it on the lights. I think he choked. It's just what it is because I know how that feeling is. I know what it is when the ball is on the line and you got a chance to win the game. Your neck gets so tight that you know you got to make this catch. I'm telling you, you can blame it on the lights, but I'm telling you, his neck got so tight that he was trying to get in that end zone so bad that he friggin' nutted on himself. I'm going to tell you just like that. I know he did. I know he did.
They've run that play like 100 times.
Yep.
And he caught the touchdown. So you gotta give him some grace. Your Ravens ran that play 100 times, and Andrews that's his bread and butter.
Yep.
99 out of 99.
Who's the other tight end?
Derek Lively.
They should have ran it to Lively.
Yep.
They should have ran it to Lively.
Hey, he's having a good OTA camp too. By the way,
he is. Look, Brian, don't go take him this year in fantasy.
I said, what did I say at the beginning of the year? I said Lively remind me of who? Myself. I was a Lively type guy. Light in the ass, quick off the ball, maybe have great hands. Just that's it.
And your first round pick, Malachi Starks, is taken in. He is a leader on the defense. He is the veterans are like giving him high fives on the field and OTAs. When you sign on to Ravens Flock, you get these news reports. I never got them before, but I'm getting these Ravens Flock news reports. But hey, your boy Malachi Starks is going to be a player. He might be defensive rookie of the year.
He might.
Well,
I don't know if you two guys like hot takes, but every week on the Rewind, we do a hot take segment where Coach Garv gives his own hot take on whatever he may wake up on Wednesday morning and how he may be feeling. Last week, his hot take was pretty interesting. You can go back and watch it. But this week, I don't know what he's going to say. I don't know what's he going to do. What I will say is it is going to be very interesting. So I hope you all prepare for his hot take this week. So this week's edition, Coach Garv's hot take. Let's go.
New York Knicks. You've been denied all over the damn place with a bunch of goddamn coaches. I don't think anybody wants to come there personally because you got a lot of bullshit going on in there. Your one person that you have left is Mark Jackson. The guy is so structured, so church-driven that you basically ran him out of town because everybody was complaining about his structure and his discipline and his this and his that. You can look it up. What are you afraid of? You're afraid of going back to the old school? He's an old school guy. The Knicks, I've known the Knicks for years for being a ground and pound, to beat you up inside. Imagine one team going back to that and destroying the league and making everything come back to ground and pound, because you can't be, there's no one to defend them inside out. You got your shooters. You got your scorers. You gave up one with DeFrancis. But yet you bring Mark Jackson back and you bring back Knicks basketball. It's a shame. Bring him back. You denied him from talks. You denied every coach from talks. You only got Mark Jackson left. Bring Mark Jackson back. He deserves it. You screwed him over once. He's been quiet. He's been involved in a lot of different things now. It's nothing but productivity. Bring him back, and I will even root for the Knicks. And I hate the Knicks. I was going to tell you that right now. I hope they lose every single game because of X, unless Mark Jackson comes back. Then I may sit there and be like, bring out some pom-poms and shake the shits and be like, hey, they're winning now. That's the only damn way. But other than that, I hope they lose every fucking game, especially with Brunson there. It's just what it is.
Mr. Garvin a Father's Day gift. Fuck the Knicks. Yeah. Let's go. I'll be at brunch Sunday, Moss. Let's go.
You got that Boston gear on, so like,
come on, man. Come on.
I know how you feel.
For folks out there that may not know what's going on right now, multiple organizations have denied the Knicks. Of course, during this head coaching process, they have to request permission from the particular organization for an interview. So in this case, the Knicks requested an interview to interview Mavs head coach Jason Kidd. The Mavs denied it. Minnesota have also denied the Knicks from interviewing Chris Finch, and of Houston Rockets from interviewing Coach Udoka. Now, here's the thing. First off, this Knicks job opening is a gift and a curse. We do know what Coach Tibbs has done for this Knicks organization in the last 5 years. They've been to the playoffs more in the last 5 years than they've been in the last 25 years. So that's a positive. But what this Knicks roster walking into, you have three players who take up majority, if not the entire salary cap. You're going to pay Karl-Anthony Towns $62 million next year, and you're going to pay Jaylen Brunson a heavy lift to that, over $40-something million next year. So roster-wise, you don't have a lot of moves and pieces to make. You have to create some cap. Luxury tax will be a thing. Coming to New York, it's a big market. But I think the Knicks have to have a slam dunk hire here if they want to get back to the playoffs, because you have to be able to do better than what you have had before. Ideally, I would think that's how hiring works. But in this case, it's the Knicks. Who knows? They can easily go back to square one. But you have Jaylen Brunson, you have Mikal Bridges, you have Josh Hart, and you have Karl-Anthony Towns. That is your payroll right there for the New York Knicks. What is coming in afterwards? Who knows? We shall see. I'm not sure if Mark Jackson will get another opportunity. He's been gatekept out of the NBA for a long time. His last coaching tenure with the Golden State Warriors, he is responsible for drafting Steph Curry. He is responsible for drafting Klay Thompson. He is responsible for drafting Draymond Green. So I think he knows a little bit about drafting pieces and players to help put them in place. Steve Kerr came along with that same nuclear and blueprint and pretty much won a shitload of NBA championships. But, fellas, I don't know where the Knicks go. Mark, maybe you may know. I think this job is a gift and a curse. The Knicks have to have a slam dunk hire, especially coming off an Eastern Conference final appearance, something that they haven't been and God knows when. But where do the Knicks go, Mark, in terms of their head coach search, and who you think is the right pick or the right choice to take this Knicks team and to get them back to where they were, and that's the Eastern Conference finals?
Well, Monty, are they shooting themselves in the foot by like trying to
maybe
pull Jason Kidd? Trying to pull Jason Kidd. That's my homie too. I grew up with Jason Kidd in Oakland. Trying to pull Jason Kidd out of Dallas. Why are you doing that? Like, how are you gonna attract talent when you're trying to pull Jason Kidd? Who's gonna want to? Okay, look, you fired Thibodeau, who took you to the Eastern Conference Finals. you didn't have a plan. So if I'm a coach, obviously, if I want to be a head coach, I'll take the job in a minute, right? So I just want the HC job and give me 2 years. And if I mess up, whatever. But if you're serious, how have the Knicks marketed that job? That job is like trash job. It's the worst job in the NBA right now because of the Knicks. They made it trash. They fired the dude that took them to the Eastern Conference Championship. They know they're lacking. They need another player because it can't be Brunson. I mean, are they going to hire what's her name, the homegirl that was coaching for the San Antonio Spurs? That'd be a good hire for them. Hire
Becky Hammond.
Becky Hammond. Yeah, she knows that team very well. She called it out. Actually, owe her an apology. She called it out. She said, Jaylen Brunson can't be your star in New York.
Thank you. I've said it over and over and over again. He's not built like that.
He's great, but he can't be your one.
Yes.
Right?
Why is that though? Why y'all feel that? Because I like the Knicks, but I like Brunson. I love Brunson.
This is why. Because how did he win back-to-back championships at Villanova? He was a distributor. He found everybody. He went away from that. Now he's trying to be a scorer. And he's so exhausted that he can't do everything. And he's trying his best to do it. So reel him back. Make him your second option. Make everyone else better. And then when he has to score a little bit, he can do that. There's nothing wrong with having 14, 16 points, 13, 14 assists and having a balanced game. But he's come out with 26, 30, and you should see his face. It seems like his face is about to hit the chair. He's exhausted. So you're talking about a non-athletic, no speed, none of that stuff, but an efficient passer and a decent scorer to be able to win a basketball game. And you got these Knicks fans that thinking that he's in the elite with Michael Jordan and LeBron James. I said, have you lost your goddamn mind? Do you see what's going on?
About, man. They delusional.
Do you see what's going on? I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Well,
and his daddy thinks he's freaking Michael Jordan. It's just what it is. And to me, in my opinion, he was part of the problem.
Players that have reported that they weren't too happy with Rick Brunson and his way of going about things as the assistant coach. He's been Tibbs' guy since he's in Chicago. He is a former Knick, so I get the hire. I get the reason why. But there's no way, and this is with all due respect, I like Brunson's game. I think he's good for New York. I think you put Brunson in a 1A, 1B type of spot with a different player that has a higher caliber. He can match that. We saw that a little bit in Dallas with Luka. But he shouldn't be shooting or taking 27, 29 shots a game. You're not Kobe Bryant. You're not MJ. And if you're going to shoot 29 points, if you're going to shoot 29 shots a game, you better have 40 plus at the end of the game. And the Knicks have so many different politics that's going on from the front office standpoint with Leon Rose and Worldwide West, the politics behind that, and how they were able to move Tibbs out. Listen, it's you don't fire a coach that brought you to the Eastern Conference Final. And I'm all for Tibbs being fired because he is part of the problem of why this roster was what it was, why he wasn't effective with using his bench effectively, why he was playing Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart 37, 38, 40 minutes a game in the regular season and in the playoffs. The wear and tear was crazy. I mean, he drove this Knicks team into the goddamn subway on 43rd Street. He's responsible for that. His adjustments, he's responsible for that. I mean, as Brian said, he's not a game closer coach, adjustment coach. I mean, he's got the talent, but you can't sit here and say like, man, well, you got PJ Tucker on the bench. You didn't use him. That's an NBA vet. That's a guy with NBA playoff experience. That's a guy who can give you minutes and be effective with those minutes. Rather it's 10, rather it's 15. You need that. Karl-Anthony Towns is not a guy who's going to play 35, 36 minutes a night and be effective. Ask Minnesota. I mean, we look at Cameron Payne, who wasn't really irrelevant when Phoenix leaves Phoenix, comes to New York. You didn't play him a whole entire second round against Boston. But then you want to insert him against Indiana. What do you think he's going to do? Nothing. So Tibbs being fired, you have to be able to have a replacement in place that has that type of stature. I'm surprised they haven't even interviewed Michael Malone yet. That's the number one head coach right now in the market for coaching. He's an NBA champion. He knows how to win an NBA champion. He knows how to work with a bench. He's been successful in Denver. The Knicks, this is a crucial hire because if you don't get this right, this will set you back. And
Another
the Knicks right
years.
now, the Knicks are on cloud 9 right now. Cloud 9. And as they should.
Can I say something, Moss?
Yeah, of course. Go for it.
I want to go back to what my guy Mark said. He said something about no plan. No plan. You fired Thibodeau because they fired Thibodeau fast. After they lost, it was probably in a week. Thibodeau was gone. I want to ask all of y'all how much I think it's an accountability thing. I mean, we could say, the pros and cons about Thibodeau, and I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm just being real thorough here. It's a front office accountability thing. I mean, what did you give him the trust on the bench? Campaign? I mean, cool, but I mean, the year prior you had Hartenstein that can come off and give you some production. Exactly. That's front office though. That's not Tom Thibodeau. That's front office.
He has to say so as well on his roster.
But come on, Moss. Come on, Moss.
In the roster.
Come on, Moss. I mean,
makes the moves. The front office makes the moves. The head coach, he's there on a day in and day out basis. And for example, Bryant knows from a college perspective as well as a basketball perspective as a head coach. If there's a player on this team that Bryant thinks is not good for the organization or it's not good for his roster to get them in a position to win, he's got to go. Front office makes that decision.
They consult the coach.
They go make a trade or they go release him. Those are things front office makes, but the head coach has to say so in who is here and who's going. That's how it goes every year. So the blame is on the front office for putting this roster together, but the blame is also on Tibbs because, again, I said this 8 weeks ago, when the All-Star break was at. The Knicks were number one in the league at All-Star break and minutes played from their starting five. I said that. And I eventually said this will catch up and it's a disaster waiting to happen. And guess what? A disaster that had happened. So Tibbs has to take blame from this because as a head coach, you have a 12-man roster. It's your job to identify talent on your bench and use them effectively. It's not up to a fan. It's not up to the front office. It's not up to Leon Rose. It's not up to Worldwide West. Bryant Garvin has 12 players on his bench. He knows, okay, every game I'm going 8 deep, 9 deep, depending on the situation. I know I got 3-4 guys on my bench that I can trust that can give my starter some breathing room, that can give my starter a quick rest. And if he has to go 7, then he works with 7. But you can't expect to fucking have success, excuse my language, throughout the entire NBA regular season, which is great. The NBA regular season is great. Playoffs is where you earn your dollar, where you earn your paycheck. Thibodeau didn't earn his paycheck. Yeah, you got your Eastern Conference final, but look what he had to put his players through. Mikal Bridges played the most minutes in his NBA career this year with the Knicks than he's done in his entire NBA career. That's not an accident. That happened on purpose. Josh Hart, he's always been a hard-nosed glue guy, even when he was in Portland, but he wasn't playing 37, 38 minutes a night either. So you put all these unrealistic expectations on these players to go out there and produce, but you're not getting much out of guys going deep into the playoffs when they're playing 38, 39, 40 minutes a night. And I will die on that hill. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, let's talk about that. Unrealistic expectations. I mean, that's what a good coach does. He reduced his roster he played an 7, 8 man roster, and it got him to the Eastern Conference Finals because the rest of the roster, it sucks. So, I mean, Thibodeau he did a good job with that team. All he had was Brunson. Brunson's the only reason why they got to that level. And Brunson played a March Madness playoff, and he ran out of gas. And it was so obvious that Becky Hammond was like, he can't be your 1A. And we already know that because we watched this league and we watch this game every single year, and we know the teams that win the championships. They don't have a Brunson. Allen Iverson never won a championship. Isaiah Thomas won 2 championships. Look what he had. Right? Brunson don't have that. Karl Anthony Towns is a great role player. He's not a 1B or a 1A.
No.
He's a 2A.
I agree. I agree.
The Knicks, if they want to win a championship, you don't fire the coach and not have another coach in mind. Like
I agree.
I was shocked when they sent a request for permission to talk to Jason Kidd. Like, you're exploratory. You fired your coach, and you're exploratory on somebody. It's not just Jason Kidd. They asked for somebody else too. I'm like, what are you?
Chris Finch and Coach Duco from Houston.
I mean, Lord have mercy. They might as well go for a college coach right now and start over. Nobody professional wants to coach the Knicks right now. They're not going to get anybody legitimate in the NBA little nepotism circle. They're cool. They might as well go for some new blood and give them 1 year. And they're not going to get Cooper Flag. I'm not sure if that's what they wanted to do. Dallas is going to get Cooper Flag. You think Jason Kidd is not going to coach Cooper Flag? Are you out your damn mind?
Why would he want to leave Dallas? It makes no sense.
Why would he leave Dallas with the number 1 pick this year?
You have a healthy Kyrie Irving coming back. You have a AD coming back.
AD coming back, and you about to get Flag from Duke. And Flag, hey, by the way, I watched that young buck, man. That dude plays ball. He
show up.
And he's going to a great situation where he has AD and he has Kyrie. He can fit in between them and doesn't get the pressure that all the other rookies are going to get to perform at the level that they need to perform. He's going to be able to fit right in at what he does. Homeboy is aggressive. I love that situation for my boy Jason Kidd, Oaktown, baby, Oakland, California. I love my situation. Why would you ask if Jason Kidd wants to go back to New York? You know he don't want to go back to New York. Are you kidding me?
Why would I want to walk into an organization that has so much politic frenzy in the front office where you can be employed 1 year and fired the next? There's no job security with the Knicks.
No, you can make it. You can make it to the Eastern Conference Finals as a coach
and get fired.
Exactly.
And get fired.
Exactly. That's why it's 25% Thibodeau, 75% front office.
Front office.
Yes, sir.
At the end of the day, man, it's just a piss poor. And we said it in the last segment that they paid them too much money. You have to checks and balances, and this whole thing is not balanced well. And it starts from the top and it goes all the way down. You paid him $61. Just come on. He's not a $61 million guy.
Karl Anthony Towns got paid $49 million this year.
It makes no sense. He's not a 49. It's just not. These guys getting paid Jordan money. I'm like, I coached against.
They're getting paid more than Jordan money. Jordan never made money before.
Right. No. So I'm like, I coached against Karl Anthony Towns. I know what he can do. And I know what he can't do. And, someone tried to argue with me and said that he's much different than he was in high school. No, he's not. It's the same way he's playing now. It's the same way he played then. Unorthodox, sloppy, shooting threes, and barely going any. And we lost him by 2, a public school. So I'm like, we should have beat him. And, and he averaged 23, 24 points a game for the entire season. And we played him in the finals for the TOCs, and we held them to 7 points. Because I know I watch film like a crackhead. It's just what it is. And I know what he can and cannot do. So he's not a good fit. I said it last year. He's not a good fit for the Knicks. They don't have anyone else on the bench. The bench is terrible. The whole organization is terrible. And in order for me to even respect them, it doesn't make any sense for Oklahoma City to look the way they do. And that's a new organization. And the Knicks is an old organization, and they haven't been shit over 50-something years. That's a problem with the top. And I'm done with it.
Well, as Mark says, no proper plan in place after firing Tibbs. We'll see what the Knicks do this NBA offseason, as they have a lot of things they need to figure out, and head coach would be number one. But it is this week's edition of Rewind of the Week, and I really don't care how this segment goes because it's my favorite segment, and personally, let's just get to it. Now, listen, I had someone tell me last week that I don't highlight tennis. I haven't highlighted tennis since we have launched the Rewind podcast. And you know what? You are right. We haven't. I haven't. I take accountability for that, being a part of the creative control for the Rewind of the weekend and weekend basis. But however, you get your wish tonight, and you know exactly who I'm talking to. Coco, 2025 French Open champion. First round, 6-2, 6-2 over Olivia. Gadecki, second round, 6-2, 6-4 win over Teresa Valentova. Third round, dominant 6-1, 7-6, 7-3 over Maria Vukova. Round 6-0, 7-5 over Mrs. Alexandrova. Quarterfinals, 6-7, 6-8, 6-4, 6-1. Stunning fashion over number 7 tennis player in the world, Madison Keys. Semifinals, kicked ass and take names, 6-1 and 6-2 over Mrs. Boyson. And then in the final, of course, in dominant fashion, being the number 1 tennis player in the world, Miss Arana, 6-7, 5-7, 6-2, 6-4. 31-8 this year in her record for this year. She is the first U.S. woman to win the French Open in a decade. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. First U.S. woman to win the French Open in a decade since the great Serena Williams. 10 titles in her professional career so far. The sky is the damn limit. Right now, she's the number 1 player in the world. 260 wins, 107 career losses. Shout out to Coco, your 2025 French Open champion. If anybody's got any comments or concerns, save them for next week. I highlighted tennis on the Rewind. There'll be more to follow. Stay tuned for more. Now, my favorite. Let's floss this shit up, man. Floss and Moss. Our last sipping of the night. Let's go home, folks. Chris, our producer, a proud Maple Leaf fan, loves the Maple Leafs. I came up with this theory a few weeks ago where I said the Edmonton Oilers will win the Stanley Cup. They're down 2-1 in the Stanley Cup final. I'm still sticking to my guns. Game 4, which will be tomorrow night on TNT, 8 o'clock. If you're a betting man, please put your savings on the line, put your 401k on the line, put your 401(b) on the line, your mutual funds. Take every dollar asset you own. Hell, take the equity out your house and put them money line on the Edmonton Oilers Game 4. It's a must-win. Now, last time I checked, when the Edmonton Oilers in a must-win game, they took care of business in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I expect them to do that again. Yes, they did lose 6-1 Game 3, got their asses whooped in Florida. Let's not forget the Florida Panthers are the defending Stanley Cup champions, but they cannot afford to go back to Canada down 3-1. The Terrorists, remember what I told you before, this is a big win for Canada. They need this shit because Trump ain't fucking around. He's got Canada in the headlock, and he only raising the prices up. Ask China. Now, listen, what I will say is this. Coach Paul Maurice for the Florida Panthers has done a phenomenal job with this Panthers team this year as well as the playoffs. He's a Stanley Cup champion. He knows what it takes to win. I love you, Paul. You're a great coach. You're a tremendous coach. But right now, it's all about the Oilers. But I want to shine a light on Sam Bennett, who has 8 goals, 3 assists in the last 10 games. Panthers, they do a really good job. They don't find themselves in trouble in games, especially from penalty kill minutes. Edmonton just can't figure it out in Game 2. Got their asses. I just don't know. But what I will say is, all the money you have, so all of us, if all four of us, including Chris, that's 5, we take all our money. Just think about it. Just stick with me. All our money we have and all the savings, rather you got that shit buried under your house, you got it under your wife's bed, wherever you got the money in the safe, put it all together. Think about it. We could hit FanDuel big. We could hit Vegas big. Edmonton Oilers, money line, Game 4, Stanley Cup final, tied up, go 2-2, back to Edmonton. Edmonton Oilers, your Stanley Cup champions. I will die on that hill, and I'll be back next week for more. So don't just think I'm talking crazy now. I'll be back next week for more. But that was this week's edition of Floss and Moss. Edmonton Oilers money line. Let's fucking go, fellas.
I'm going to agree with you. You know why? I'm going to agree with you, and this is why.
Why?
I was watching, of course, on social media, and I saw the team captain going inside that locker room after the game. I think it was after a loss, and he dug in their ass.
Connor McDavid. Yes.
Yes. He dug in their ass and was like, step up. Play harder. You're not playing hard enough. He jumped in there as like he was the coach. I said, I wanted to put on some skates, and I wanted to go in there and start freaking playing. They may win this whole damn thing just from that.
They will. No, they will.
I may hit that money line. I don't bet on hockey, but after seeing that one, I said, ooh.
Hey, Moss, if it's as rigged as Mr. Garvin says, don't fucking put your money on that shit. They listening. Vegas listening. They ain't gonna let them win next game. Don't put your money on that shit. Hell no.
I'm just never gonna go to an NHL hockey game in a t-shirt ever again. Cold as hell, man. I ain't doing that. I was trying to look cold.
Yeah.
Hondo.
What up, baby?
Any last words before we sign up?
I wanna say I was
find you on social media. Give them a shout out. Where can they find you?
Contraband _key. I'm not I don't carry contraband, but that's like my high school name. Contraband _key on Instagram. I'm a real chill guy, man. I was actually really shocked you said tennis. It's like y'all fucking versatile up here. Motherfucking tennis, picket ball, cricket, shit. But yeah, man, I'm happy. I love this episode. I'm manifesting that I'll be back, maybe a co-host, every now and again, I could shit a stage and try again. But I love this, man, for real. Come on, man. Gotta have me back.
You're welcome back anytime. If I don't know, Brian's job, maybe post on Indeed after year 1 of the Rewind. We shall see. Who knows? Mark, I know you came on late. I will bring you back the right way down the road for the Rewind, especially with the NFL season approaching us with preseason in August, as well as the season starting in September. But where can the people find you on social media? How can they support you? Tell us what you got going on. Let the fans, our support team of the Rewind, let them buy in, let them show some love. Where can they find you?
I'm at MG Squared on Instagram and on Twitter. And wherever you find Xavier Guillory, you find me. I'm a big fan of my nephew and a big support of his. I'm learning the business, number 1, of football. Number 2, it's really cool seeing a kid go from, an Arizona State team that was not supposed to do nothing and have a big catch in the Big 12 championship with his touchdown catch that he had, and then also get this opportunity to play amongst the best individuals that have ever played the sport. I love all these. I call them kids because I'm 53 years old, but I love all these guys, man. They're putting everything they have into it, and I love this part of the season because it's where you really get to see the passion of the game, and I get to see tape that nobody else gets to see, and I see young bucks working and trying to make a team. So I love that part. Thank you for having me, Monty. I know we've been talking about this for a long time, but thank you for having me. And hey, look, I think he's looking really good. So, like, you know, I'm hella proud. Xavier's looking really good. He's number 87 for the Ravens. I'll be in Dallas for August 16th preseason game. But, you know, the kid is just, he's balling out. And all these kids are balling out. And I didn't pay attention to this part of football until now. And I totally appreciate it. I really do, for all the families and like the people I'm meeting that are families of people that may or may not make it. I love them too. You know, we're all in this together. And it's just, there's some great athletes that aren't going to make it, you know? And, you know, it's a hard part of the game, but it makes you love the game more. Like, I love football because of what I'm seeing now from all these kids that are, like, you know, doing these drills and stuff like that. I just love it. And I can't wait for football. Since Monty, you know, I love football. You know how much I love football. So I can't wait. I can't believe it's like just, it's June right now, man. We got 2 months to go.
We got a long way to go, brother, but we will get there. I'm not sure how excited you should be as a Giant fan, but I know as a New England Patriot.
Good luck to your nephew, man. God bless him, man.
Yes.
Enjoy this ride. It's going to be. You know, he makes a team, and you go see some stuff that you see some great stuff now, but you go see some stuff that make it go like this. So just embrace it, smile when you spend all that time in those hotels, and it's going to be an interesting career that young man will have. So God bless and do some great things.
I didn't go to Arizona for that dry ass heat anymore. I get to go to Baltimore for some humidity. I'm in New Orleans, so I get to go to some humidity. Going to Arizona, my skin would immediately peel. I had to drink hella water. I'm like, okay, I don't want to go to Tempe anymore. No disrespect to Tempe, but man, in the first game I went to go see, brother, it was a monsoon. Y'all ever been to a monsoon in the desert?
Sandstorms.
It was a sandstorm. The first game I went to go see, he caught a touchdown, and then they paused the game because of the sandstorm.
Yeah.
They call it something. I forgot what it's called.
I forgot the name.
Man, it was crazy. Like, you couldn't. I went and took a shower after that game, and like dirt came off me. That's how crazy it was. So I'm cool on that, but like, you know, hey, look, man, we're the Ravens now in Owings Mills, Maryland, and the Ravens are looking good, man. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, mark my word, the Ravens are going for a Super Bowl. I think they're gonna win it. They are good. Lamar Jackson is serious, dude. I ain't lying. He's throwing everybody.
It's his time. I've been waiting.
Yep. Well, you know, we're praying. We're here in the Rewind. We're rooting for your cousin to make the team. We're rooting for him to be part of that wide receiver core in Baltimore, which is a good wide receiver core, well as a good offense with Derrick Henry leading the charge in the backfield. He's got a solid O-line. Lamar can do it with his arm and legs. He's proved that year in and year out. All I'm asking for is when he does come to Baltimore for the regular season, I live in New Jersey. I just need a ticket. The hell with these two. Give me a ticket, and we'll go from there.
I'll be up there.
Brian,
I'll be up there in September. Let's go.
Hey, look. Say nothing but a word, as they say. Brian, any final thought before we sign off tonight, episode 22?
That is one selfish individual in the red shirt right there. You see the issues that we go through. He's telling us the hell with these two. You know what I mean? He wasn't joking. He was serious.
Hondo. Do you know me as a selfish person? Do you know me as a selfish person?
He was sitting there. He's gone to games, and he'll text me. He's like, "Yo, I'm at the Knicks game. I'm doing this." I'm like, "Oh, well, thank you. I'm at home watching this shit." Oh, but thank you for telling me. Yeah.
Any last words before we sign off tonight?
Yeah. Thank you for being the selfish asshole that I know you to be. Much love for you, son. Much love.
I love you too. Episode 22. If you haven't, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at @3rewind_GSC3, as well as follow us on all social media platforms at @3rewind_GSC3. Want to give a special thank you to our producer, the man that holds it down each and every week, Chris, and 1990 Studios, for what they do on a week in and week out basis. Shout out to our guy, Pat, who holds it down from the creative graphic standpoint, who puts our flyers together, who puts everything that we put for this show right here, lower thirds included. Shout out to Pat. Also want to give a special shout out to all the fathers out there, the ones that do what they're supposed to do. For Father's Day this Sunday, hope you guys enjoy your Father's Day. You guys should be celebrated kings, as you should be. This is what we do. Father's Day should be also celebrated weekly as well as daily. Now, I know Mother's Day is a big thing for moms, but I hope moms out there, I hope y'all got these things planned for the fathers this weekend. Rather y'all getting on the grill or y'all taking them out to brunch or something. We need the same energy. These fathers need it. But
enjoy your tie.
Enjoy your power tool set. Shout out to all the dads. Happy Father's Day. And Sunday will be a special day for myself. I will announce it here on the Rewind. I will be officially getting baptized, long overdue, this Sunday at my church, St. Matthew A&E. Shout out to Reverend Wilson, who does this thing each and every Sunday, lays a smack down on the sermon. Bryant will be there virtually because he's a POS who doesn't want to come take the drive to the church. Shame on him, and he talks about me. But episode 22, want to give a special thanks to my brother Hondo, to Mark, to Bryant, my co-host, Monty Moss, signing off.
Show him, Mark.
Catch this episode tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time on all platforms. Go fucking Oilers.
Fuck the Knicks.
Let's go!
I was checking out the scouting report, and I don't see nothing but bums. You and your whole entire world know that I am the one. You and your squad ain't got nothing for me. Your organization is looking stressed, and now that you haters is running from me, I know that you see that I'm highly blessed.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, we live with your boy Coach G. Yeah, we live with your boy Monty.
You and your squad ain't got nothing for me. Your organization is looking stressed, and now that you haters is running from me.